So, Sunbreak gave the Switch Axe a pretty decent move with the Elemental Burst counter. Outside of its obvious in-combat use, it does something incredibly interesting. On activation, it completely charges or amps your weapon, refreshing it if it's already amped. You don't need to actually hit anything for this either. You can potentially amp on command without a monster involved. So we arrive at the obvious question: can we follow in the steps of the longsword and trigger the counter ourselves using bombs? Now, you may have already tried to do this yourselves and seen a few things. Firstly, the timing for countering a small bomb placed under you is incredibly tight. You have 3 inputs to make: drawing the weapon, activating the counter stance, and actually countering, with only a few frames of error to do this. This is with the quickest unsheath method too, the sword overhead. Every other option just isn't fast enough. Now, if you manage to pull this off, you'll see something else: that nothing actually happens. Our counter is directional, and you only gain the full effect if struck from the front. Any other direction and you only get armor frames and damage reduction. When you place a bomb at your feet, you are hit from the back, as they say, and no counter occurs. So if we want to be able to self-amp, we need a way to either move ourselves backwards or the explosion forwards. Oh, and the obvious solution of tossing a bomb forwards does not work. You don't have enough time here to pull off a counter. I'm going to show you 3 methods to resolve this, with different mechanics, setup, and resources required. Here's the first, the easiest to pull off if your timing is bad like mine. Unfortunately, it also needs the most stuff. For this, you'll need 1 small barrel bomb and 2 impact ones. Impact-triggered barrel bombs have a slight delay to their explosion after being struck, and you can further delay these by chaining them together in series. So place them like this, so that 1 bomb triggering will hit the other. Step back and toss a small one in a high arc so it lands on only 1 bomb. Then you simply aim a counter at the other one. While a single thrown bomb doesn't give you enough time to pull off a counter, the time given by 2 delayed explosions does. The window to perform the counter is pretty long here, since bombs have a lingering hitbox, so you just need to make sure that you move into the explosion when you counter forwards. The second one here requires 1 less planted bomb, but you need to contend with the tight timing window. Place a bomb, and then step backwards, and place a small bomb so that it will activate the first one. Then draw your weapon and counter towards the one that you just planted. You need to make sure that you don't accidentally hit the placed bomb on your draw, or this won't work. What's happening here is that you're armoring through the small bomb, and countering the larger one, which explodes in front of you. And here's our final method, which only requires 1 small bomb and something that stops your movement, so a wall or a ledge. Unfortunately, this means that you likely can't use this method as a wake-up, as you can't place the bombs freely. Simply walk right up to a wall, place the bomb as close as possible, perform a draw attack, and then counter towards it. The wall stops your forwards movement from the draw attack, and the counter stance makes you take a step backwards. As you can see, the bomb is now in front of us, and the counter works. So those are our 3 methods, or at least the ones that I was easily able to come up with. I would recommend the first, simply due to how hard the other 2 are to pull off. As for when you would want to actually do this, well, here's a few scenarios. If you get a monster into the rideable state, and would like to have amp or refresh it, as a strong wake-up on a sleeping monster, using 2 bombs and the counter damage, or to have amp before engaging a monster at all, in case they're not going to roar or they're not safe to counter. Anyways, that will be all. Thank you for watching.